the Shanghai Masters in 2015, which of course Kyron won. That was his first ranking title. And remember how well he's doing at this year's Masters, just his second appearance. Trump won the most recent meeting in the fourth round of the Scottish Open in 2016. Going to be a cracking game this today. Very good afternoon to our commentary team of Dennis Taylor and Steve Davis. Dennis, good afternoon to you. And let me start with you first of all. Kyron Wilson's been given that interview not just to the broadcasters but also to the newspapers, saying exactly the same thing. Do you think he's got enough variation in his game to win this title?
I've been a great fan of Kyron's ever since he turned professional, and I like his attitude. He's very, very positive. And very, very confident, and he's very nice with it. But I love his game. He's got a terrific cue action. I think he served his apprenticeship. He's won one ranking title, and he could go all the way here. But I mean, he's up against Judd Trump, so I think this is going to be a very aggressive and a very attacking semi-final here.
And Steve, you've been singing Kyron's praises all week.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know until you win one of the big majors if you've got it, but it does look like he's got all parts of the jigsaw puzzle in place. Great temperament and a great match player. And, there's players with different types of abilities, but being able to play great match play, I think, is the biggest commodity and sometimes the elusive commodity for players. And
Dennis, in terms of Judd Trump, though, I suppose if he picks up where he left off against Sean yesterday, it could be a tough old afternoon for Kyron.
Absolutely, and he wants, he's got the UK title, he wants another one of the majors, and he's got a great chance here this year, but you've still got to do it on the table. Yeah. Nobody's going to make it easy for you,
absolutely.
That's for sure.
And given the fact that Ronnie's not here, and there are many fans out there I was talking to today who were so looking forward to seeing Ronnie O'Sullivan this weekend. However, O'Sullivan's out. The very fact that Judd is an entertainer and plays his brand of snooker, he's going to get a rapturous applause out here today, Steve.
Yeah, he's a very popular player, I think, and he plays the game in such an attractive way. It's tough for Judd Trump. I mean, his best seasons in the majors, certainly 2011, 2012, and it looked like he was going to use that as a springboard to more and more success right at the top of the tree. But I think perhaps the days of the players winning the World Championship and the big events at the age of 21, 22, perhaps going to go now because there's so much strength in depth, so many good players. So therefore, it's not absolutely imperative that Judd Trump's winning because he's got plenty of years left in the tank, but it's still, he would like to because it's been a few years since he's won a big one.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you very much. I look forward to your commentary this afternoon, gentlemen. Okay, the players are ready. Let's join Rob Walker.
Final Saturday here at the Dafabet Masters. One of the two men waiting at the top of the stairs will return tomorrow for a maiden Masters final. This is absolutely huge for both players. It's too close to call, and Ali Pali is rocking in anticipation of this massive session of snooker. Here we go. Please welcome a player emerging for what is, without doubt, one of the biggest matches of his career so far. His first appearance in a Triple Crown semi-final. Winner of the 2015 Shanghai Masters. He's already been in two major finals this season, and he will be seriously fired up for this afternoon because he's the warrior, Kyron Wilson. And his opponent, arguably the most exciting player of his generation. Winner of 8 ranking titles in all, and here bidding for his first Triple Crown final since 2014. Reigning European Masters champion. He's in cracking form after that brilliant quarter-final victory over Sean Murphy. Can he bring his own brand of naughty snooker? Let's find out. He's the ace in the pack. He's Judd Trump.
For both players here at Alexander Palace, so a very good afternoon to everyone.
Thank you very much. The first frame. Judd Trump to break.
That's Judd Trump who won the toss, and he's going to get this semi-final underway. And looks to be a pretty good length with the break-off shot. Although he has left one to the left corner, and if he can get round the back of the black, Kyren might have a go at it. He's a very attacking player. Could do with a favourable kiss here.
One.
Didn't get it, but certainly a terrific opening pot. An early confidence booster.
Kyren Wilson, one.
I know Judd has got a terrific support here this afternoon, but Kyren Wilson got a tremendous reception from this terrific crowd here. Been packed all week. In fact, that's just spotted there. Just spotted Judd's mum and dad there.
It is touching ball.
Yeah, that's Steve and Georgina, Judd's parents. They're very proud of their son, and they are at most venues.
Thank you.
Oh, he fouled and
Judd Trump full.
declared it straight away on himself. He must have touched it. Let's have a look. Did he just catch? Didn't see anything from that shot, but obviously he touched something because he declared it straight away.
Something that the player feels. Didn't look like the red moved, but he could have touched it. Perhaps even sometimes the sound of the hit. You sense you've brushed the ball. Tempting red into the middle pocket.
One.
Yeah, very good pot from that position with the white tucked up in the cushion, and if he can pot the green, there's a couple of reds he can get on here. Well, he decided just to keep it tight and roll up behind it.
Yeah, the Judd Trump of a number of years back may have been tempted by the green there, but I think Judd's now got a different balance to his game. Trouble for Judd Trump's perspective is he got a lot of success playing very, very attacking snooker, and as the years have gone on, his game will change balance-wise, but it would be nicer to get some success with it. This looks pretty decent.
Yeah, just going back to that, in 2011 when Judd lost in the final of the World Championship to John Higgins, I'd never seen potting like it. It was the unbelievable display of potting that year, and it looked like he was going to win the world title back then.
Foul. Shot trump
Surprised
7.
Kyren didn't have a look at that.
Really no damage done at all, unless you fast forward to the end of the frame where those 7 points might become important. Somehow a red's managed to poke its nose over the right corner. It's going to be tough for Kyren Wilson to guarantee any type of position from this shot. He's going to be careering into the pack after potting this. If he did get the right split of reds, the cue ball could come out to the left of the table and be on the black. There's no guarantees.
Well, as you said, Cliff, there was no,
1.
or Steve, there was no guarantee, and look where he's finished. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't think he thought he'd be going into the black off of that shot. I think perhaps he was thinking perhaps going into reds.
Kyren Wilson 1.
Wasn't really bothered about the black going in.
It is touching
Initially,
ball.
it was about getting the cue ball safe. Yeah, it's tough for Judd. He comes onto the scene scaring every player to bits with such aggressive snooker. And then the next phase of his game, we're starting to criticise because he's too open. Perhaps everybody talking in his ear saying you've got to tighten your game up. But then you don't get as much success as when you were knocking him in off the lampshades. Gets very low on the shot, down to the table, gets that cue as parallel as possible. A lot more players these days are higher up at the back. Tries to keep that head as solid as possible on the shot.
One.
Well, what does he do this time? He refused the green previously. I think he's rolling up to it again.
Shot trump 1.
Well, we said that this was going to be aggressive and very attacking snooker, and here we are watching them playing some terrific safety play.
I think both these players understand the game well enough to know that a good start is important, so perhaps a little bit more of a careful approach to start with. Open up a bit later in the match.
Foul and a miss. Shot trump 4.
Not too much value in potting this unless he feels he can get that cue ball out into open play. There is a gap for the pink into the middle pocket. He may play for that. Tough to get on the blue though. Wow. I think is it a brand new cloth today? I think it is. It makes massive difference to those pockets accepting a ball. Perhaps yesterday that shot was a lot harder. Today the pocket's just sucking that red in.
Yeah, they changed the cloth last evening after the last quarter final.
4.
But the cushions are starting to bounce. The cushion behind the black getting a very quick bounce off. It'll be interesting to see if it rectifies itself.
It's amazing the difference brand new cloth, even sort of from a cloth that's say 4 or 5 days old. Brand new cloth can make such a difference to the effective size of the pockets.
Five.
Fractionally overscrewed that, I think, but not that it'll cause a problem. As long as he can reach, he could go into the reds and disturb. It's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Not great.
With that type of shot, I'm surprised Judd doesn't change hands, because he's so good playing with his opposite hand. Because he really was stretched there, and it's caused him just to
11.
not get the cannon on the red as he intended.
Yeah. Or even put the small bit on the end of the cue. Good pot.
Yeah, worth another look at that one, but very difficult to score here.
Yellow ball.
I don't know if he can avoid the black and get into the reds here. Yeah, he could do. Now, how's your luck, Judd? Well, he's on a red, but
14.
he's still got to get up at least for the blue, so it's still not straightforward.
It would be nice to get the black on the spot, but in doing that, it's then got to be another good positional shot to get back. So 2 cushions for the black, it looks like.
And he
50.
played that with his opposite hand that time, and he does look good playing right-handed.
It's not ideally on the black, so blue's an option. The black in itself is not a hard pot, but the position is difficult here. Not too sure which red to go from this position. Surely there's not anything there.
22.
Oh, the bottom red was the one he was going for. Just a bit underpaced. Perhaps these cushions, being brand new, a little bit slower than the last round. What's he spotted here? Long range. Oh, does he get past that red? That's very tight.
I don't think there's anything goes there, but
You don't want to talk yourself into this if it doesn't go, that's for certain. There's a third of a pocket left for that red. It looks like end of break here. He tried the long range plant, and that's dangerous. That's a risk that perhaps you didn't need to
Trump,
take.
22.
Has he got away with it? Yes.
wow, he was fortunate there. He took that risky plant on, and I will show you it again. That was a very low percentage chance, but look at this white. It just kept on rolling, and covers the red.
The thing about that shot that Judd played was, yeah, okay, fair enough playing the long-range plant, but he must have known that that red was going to escape down to the bottom half of the table. Very risky. Not easy to hide the cue ball here, but he knows full well if he gets into this corner, it's going to be safe. Excellent judgment there from Karen Wilson. Wouldn't have wanted to have collided with the yellow there, so had to be sure of the path. Judd's got a problem, really. Ideally, he'd like to shift this red away from the middle pocket. play a long screw back, but you wouldn't know where the red's going. He spotted a cut into the same pocket and perhaps getting the cue ball down. I think he spotted the cut anyway. Trying to get the cue ball back down the table to the same place. No collision with the yellow. Now the red's on.
One.
Could develop into a very good opportunity here for Kyren. 36 behind. That'll do nicely. He's got a terrific cue action. He generates so much backspin. Got lots of power.
5.
And every time I see Kyren play, for some reason he reminds me of a 10 times world champion, John Pulman, who worked for the BBC for many years. Great commentator. Same size as Kyren, and similar sort of style. A lot of the older viewers will remember John Pulman.
11.
Must admit, when we've seen Kyren Wilson on the big stage in the World Championship and in this event, he doesn't look like he's overawed by the big occasion, and that's a big plus point.
19.
This would send a big message out if he were to clear up here.
Always come up quite a way short. This is a thin snick now required. He was already probably thinking about the red next to the pink. It's the only one that's awkward at the moment, but he's got other problems now. Good recovery. And he can get on that red. That's 2 from the pink.
Yeah, cushions with the new cloth on, playing noticeably slower. So players are having to adapt to that. I don't think the practice table cloths and cushions have been changed. So therefore, in the build-up to this match on the practice tables, cushions playing faster.
Wow, he was very close to the middle pocket. He might still be able to see enough of this red as we show you the screw back. He almost went in the middle pocket, but he can just see enough of this red to take the pot on. It's a shot to nothing. I mean, if he was to slot this red in and not finish on a colour and put Judd in a snooker, it would be a very, very difficult one. So this is a key shot, this. No, but it's jawed and gone safe.
Kyren Wilson, 32.
So we're going to have a close finish to this opening frame.
Try to control that shot, playing the red and playing the white slowly. I think I'd have preferred to hit it with a bit more pace coming in and out of baulk, you might have hit the ball better. This looks very good.
Yeah, excellent. It looks like it might have to be a 2-cushion escape to try and get back up the table. He doesn't want to hit the red full ball here. Yeah, if he comes off the 2 cushions, he could hit that, or he could play the one next to the pink, but look how close he'd have to get to the blue.
Yeah, this is not nice. He may have to try and play the 2 cushion snick off the red by the pink, commit. Anything else is a lot more dangerous. He might give a few points away in trying to do it, though. Doesn't want to leave a free ball, obviously.
Foul and a miss. Shot trump 4. And a free ball.
It's a free ball, but there's no easy colour for Judd to pot here, so he might have them replaced. Just having a think about it.
Judd seeing if he can put the ball in more trouble than it was already in. Or is he looking at anything a little bit more aggressive? Big blue to take on, but he could possibly play it as a semi-safety shot.
Yeah, just a point there. You can't roll up behind a colour when you've got a free ball. That would be a foul shot if you roll tight in behind a colour and snookered the player behind that. So it is the blue.
Great shot. He didn't want to play that cue ball too far across the table. He would have left a pot on had he missed. But he also wanted to be on a colour. It was pretty critical where he put the cue ball there. He's on this blue.
Thank you.
Not ideally.
Oh, this is a terrific shot he's played here.
6.
Worth another look, but he's got an angle on this to get on the blue in such a way that he could then cannon the pink and red. I don't think he can hold for the black. Playing it right-handed again. So down for the blue, and if he runs far enough,
7.
He's got a chance to remove that difficult red.
He judged the pace pretty well off the top cushion for that one. As I say, the cushion's playing a little bit slower. A little bit more of an angle, Dennis, and he would have been going straight into the pink. But he's got to bang this in if he's going to go straight in. Two cushions is risky if he misses canning into the red and pink. What's he looking at now?
Well, what he's thinking about there is if he pots the blue and leaves himself in such a way, he could send that red around the table and finish tight in behind the pink. That's the alternate that he was thinking about.
I think he's got to play the Riddle power stun shot, surely. Well, why did he not try and play the cannon there? Does this go from this position, the red? Wouldn't have thought so.
No, I think he'd hit the red and pink at the same time. He's just playing the snooker.
Shot trump 12.
I mean, you know, potting the blue with hard stun yeah, there was a chance to shift the pink away from the red away from the pink. No guarantees, of course, that he would then leave it on. So he's tried to be a lot more precise by putting his opponent back in trouble. But of course, every time you leave your opponent back at the table, escaping from a snooker, you can always get away with it. I think I prefer across the table here. This is... I think I've gone across the table.
Shot trump 4. And a 3 ball.
Well, that's tight.
You've got to be able to hit the red on both sides, and it is a free ball, and no advantage there, so having them replaced. But yeah, I'm with you, Steve. Bridge over the pink across the table and try and flick the red half ball.
I suppose there's a very big risk you would leave it over the corner, but
thank you.
It's just trying to get past the middle pocket, I think. 3 cushions.
Foul and a miss.
Oh dear.
Shot trump 4.
Green goes safe.
Well, he only needs the red, so he'll take this on.
Yeah, it makes things even better with a green save. It's a bit more insurance policy, but this red is obviously an easy shot, really. Well, that misjudgment off the top cushion from Kyren Wilson, 3 reds out, was his undoing.
6.
But they both look in fine form regardless.
This might turn out to be the longest frame of the match, because we're not far off 28 minutes.
It certainly is at the moment.
Shot trump 8 and the first frame.
Kyren stays in his seat, so no real chance of any big breaks. A very cautious opening start, but Judd Trump in the end takes the frame, and he leads Kyren Wilson 1-0.
Frame. Kyren Wilson to break.
Well, this time the break-off shot has put a red right next to the black and put it out of commission.
Yeah, picking up on John Parrott and Stephen Hendry's analysis of Judd Trump's tactical nous in that frame. Perhaps that's the new Judd Trump, not getting as much success as he wants by playing the overly aggressive game. I suppose it's a natural instinct to try and look at what's been going wrong, try and rectify it. So perhaps that's on his mind, to play a harder type of snooker. Just got to get the balance right. Didn't want to collide with the yellow, but he'll be hoping that doesn't cost him. That's not to say that Judd's not going to take on the long ball, especially with his cue power. He can always screw back to balk or behind the blue line, get out of trouble.
I think what Judd is doing these days, he's playing the percentages. That's always the best way.
1.
Excellent pot. Great safety shot as well. He's not on a ball colour, so...
Judd Trump, 1.
It's more like hard match play from Judd Trump. Perhaps in his day he would have gone for one of those long reds and careered it in, but great to watch how a player develops as they stay in the game. And if he gets success with it, as he's quite rightly doing at the moment, why not?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's put Kyron in all sorts of trouble here because there's no red near a cushion that he can come off a couple of cushions and try and land onto. I mean, he'd love to land on the two that's near the black spot. He'd like to land on the left one, but how does he get round? He's got 1, 2. He's going to just watch this shot, how many cushions he's got to hit to get there. There's 1, 2, 3 cushions, 4 cushions, and not quite hard enough.
Judd Trump, 4.
But this is tough.
Yeah, the cushion's playing slower, and also with new cloth, they also slide a bit more as they come off the cushion, so it's debatable whether these angles are on. They may have been yesterday. That sounds amazing to think, but now with the slide off the third cushion that he's inevitably going to get, the line might not be there.
That's the line he's looking for.
It's not there, I don't think.
It's just sliding off that third cushion
Judd
there.
Trump, 4.
Yeah, that shot's not on, I don't think. In hitting it harder, it's not going to make too much difference, I don't think. Inevitably, going down that line, he might be leaving Judd that red into the left middle. He may be able to get past. He's got to get close to that red on the side cushion. Just got to get past it by a fraction. That's better. That's about the best he could have possibly done, but he hasn't got the pace.
Foul and a miss.
Wow.
Judd Trump, 4.
He'll do well to find that same line again because he was so close to the green and he almost caught the red, the left side of the table.
Strangely, getting as close as possible to that red on the left-hand side cushion, if he were to flick it, he may get away with it.
This time he does clip that red. And it's not bad at all. There's one possible pot to the right middle pocket, but very difficult. He did well to get out of that situation, although it was his 4th attempt. And it's amazing how all of a sudden, from being in all sorts of trouble, he's at the table with a chance.
Yeah, he left Judd a missable pot. Judd felt he had to go for that. Tough to get that cue ball out into open play. Get through that lot. Load of goalkeepers there. Oh, he got the blackout. What a shot that is. 1. Didn't think that was possible to get enough backspin on. Flick the blackout. What a bonus. Red by the black spot would be
6.
Nice to clear. Actually, perhaps it would have been, it's going to be hard to know exactly how the black goes on the spot. Would have been nice to have got on that straight away. Red, I think, is certainly going to interfere with the black. Though it may not even go on its spot. Actually, if it doesn't go on its spot, he should have tried to get on that red straight away. No, don't think so. It's tight. Can't be touching the red if it's respotted. Oh, don't tell me it goes on the pink. No, certainly doesn't go on the pink. Okay, so it's not the end of the world. But at some stage, he'd like that red off the black spot and the black back on its spot. That's the plan.
$15. $20. $21.
He hasn't got used to the speed of the cushions yet.
He's having to work hard for these. Hasn't got himself into
26.
prime position just yet. Can he manage it this time?
$27.
Just overscrewed that one slightly as well.
It's fascinating here from the commentary box how you see the game positionally. If he'd have tried to get on that red that was by the black spot on the opening blue, none of these problems he's now got would possibly have materialised, but he's still fighting, keeping position.
$30.
On that red this time, but not ideally. Oh, this is a good shot. But once again, just another
31.
6 inches or so, and he'd have been perfect on the black to get back up to the reds. Might still be able to do it. He's got, as we keep saying, terrific cue power. He'll get a short extension there just so that he can reach this. But there's 2 reds available if he's got the right angle to screw straight back off this black. But there's an awful lot of cue between his bridge hand and the object ball here. Look where he's striking it. Oh, you could see the white stop and then spin back. In fact, he's hit it too well. But it was difficult to judge it with that extension on the cue. But he hardly hit this, but the action he got on it.
38.
Yeah, putting that extra bit on the cue, effectively making it heavier. Get a bit more spin on the ball if you're not careful. So end of break, and a frustrating break from Kyren Wilson's perspective.
Kyren Wilson, 38.
Poor safety. I'd love to knock this one in, Judd, and punish him.
Well, he's brought the red up this time. He needs the brown to help him out, and I don't think it has. I think Judd can get through to this. He just hit that much thicker than he intended. This is a huge day for Kyron Wilson. Semi-final of the Masters. Okay, he's won a ranking event a couple of seasons ago, Shanghai Masters, but this is probably one of the biggest matches of his career, and you can expect, you know, a little bit of tension creeping in.
Judd was pretty clinical in his last match, mopping up from a variety of situations. Still some work to do here. Getting correctly on the blue would be nice.
7.
Once again, under hit. Just the right side of the blue, and an excellent shot there. That really was good.
12.
Not only got the cue ball away from the cushion. I think
13.
He's looking in pretty good nick, Judd Trump. He looks very clinical in these positions at the moment to me.
20. $21. 28. 29.
That had to be controlled well. It's run a little bit too far. Oh. Confident strike, but he didn't get enough screw back on that
35.
shot. It died off the cushion, so tough pot now. Oh, well done.
$36.
And a nice little flick to boot.
$39.
Well,
40.
early days, but could this be the new Judd Trump, the more considered player, but still lethal amongst the balls at the end of a frame? Oh, kick. Awful.
Judd Trump.
Awful.
40.
Wow, that's amazing.
Gee. Outrageous.
Now, how crucial is that kick going to be? The yellow's awkward, and the red with the rest, not a gimme to start things off here, but I think Kyron, this is a bonus, him being at the table. He's up there with Sean Murphy in using the rest, that's for sure. He's very, very good with the rest. Now, this is key that he gets on the yellow in such a way that he can get onto the green, but wherever he finishes, he's going to have a difficult yellow.
He's guaranteed to be on the yellow. It's just how. 2 cushions nailed on. Wants to get as close as possible, really, with an angle.
Doesn't want to be straight. And he's got a bit of an angle. But key pop coming up here.
the worst type of angle. The other side would have been nice.
Nine.
Well, every chance now of pinching this second frame. As I mentioned, Kyren would have
12.
been in his seat thinking, I'm 2-0 behind, and then suddenly Judd gets that horrendous kick on the pink. Just blue and pink
16.
needed, and that's absolutely perfect. And we always say you never settle
21.
down till you get your first frame on the board. Judd was very, very unfortunate there. But Kyren Wilson took that opportunity, very unlucky to get the kick on the pink, but he's got his first frame on the board, and we're all square at 1 frame each. Better length this time with the break-off shot. Still left that red that he did in the opening frame, and Kyren knocked it in. But I don't know if he can get around the back of the black and red this time if he takes this on. He left to be careful here. That's terrific cueing. It really is terrific cueing. And I think winning that second frame, or pinching that second frame, has given Kyren a little bit of a boost.
Cruel game. Should have been, certainly could have been 2-0 to Judd Trump. I think Judd will be advised to try and work out a better break-off than that on this table today. Doesn't want to be leaving that one on all the time.
6.
Once again, can't hit the ball hard enough at the moment to get the right side.
Yeah, he's had to leave a medium range red, and I think
11.
he's got enough angle to be able to get position here, but it's still a bit awkward. He's had to use the
12.
other red, and well, he's got a chance, and he can cannon those 2 reds, and he'd be guaranteed to be on the one to the right of the black. And just keep your eye on the pot and let the white take care of itself here.
Would have liked that cue ball to come back another ball.
19.
Just checking to see if a red goes into the right middle. And then if it does, what could he do with a cue ball? He'll be tempted by this red in the middle. He won't be ideally placed on the pink. But it's better than getting the spider out for the other red.
$20.
Nasty cut into the middle pocket, so as he's lined up for that yellow pocket, it's more or less guaranteed where he's going to be playing it. Playing the pink into the middle pocket. Too much of a cut, as you can see.
Tell you what, he did well there with the pink. Have a look at the pink here. It jumped right off the bed of the table.
Yeah, it messed up the positional part a bit. Not the red into the yellow pocket, into the green pocket. Massive kick.
Thank you. 26.
I don't know which chalk these lads are using, but a lot of talk about new chalks and less kicks. Have a look later. Awkward bridging. It's more of a judgment shot this. He should be able to get the line right. Oh, I think he's missed it by a way there.
Kyron Wilson, 26.
Didn't seem to line that one up. Red's poked its nose out. Never on line for that one.
One.
Now, can Judd Trump get back in the zone after that unfortunate episode in the last frame? Nice to clear your mind of that. You don't want to be thinking that you're on an unlucky day.
5. Six.
I don't want to keep going on about it. It'll be a commentator's block. I think he's playing great at the moment.
8.
I mean, he's the way I judge him at the moment is potential
9.
winner of this event. I know it's early days. Looks strong.
Must be one there just next to the pink.
16.
Side of the pink that pots. There you see it. Finished a little awkward now. Because if he drops the blue in, I don't think he can leave that red for the left middle, so he's got to play it with a bit more pace. Which he has done, played it beautifully. And if he can knock in a
22.
sizable contribution here, he'll quickly forget about that bad contact on the pink that cost him the second frame.
This is very nasty. He's going to make sure he's comfortable before he plays this. Ooh. He'd be forgiven for not playing this just because of the awkwardness of that blue in the way. And
Doing a bit of stretching there. He's quite a fit young man, this Judd, but this game makes your eyes water at times.
doesn't want to mess around too much with this because it puts the pressure on to pot it in the end. So perhaps working something else out on the red over the middle pocket in this instance is not a bad idea.
'23. '30.
He's an absolute
31.
delight to watch break building. He really is.
'38. 39.
Sluggish.
46.
That top cushion coming off very slow.
$47.
Not sure if John Higgins or Mark Allen will be watching this match unfold. They've got more important things to do in one respect, but it's always nice to know the conditions you're going to play on.
$49. $50.
That red might be on next to the pink, but even if it's not, you can leave Kyren at the snooker's required stage if he gets a high valued colour with the second last red.
$55.
29 ahead. So he'd need the pink or black to leave Kyren needing a snooker. So the pink pots.
56.
Pink will put him 36 in front with just 35 remaining. This red to make absolutely
62.
certain, and he can play it in such a way, you just screw in behind the pink. If the red doesn't go in, he's got the snooker, or he can just run it through as normal, which he's played it behind the pink, so
63.
even if the red didn't go in, he had the snooker. And that looks good as well. That run absolutely
69.
true, that pink, didn't deviate, so
71.
a
74.
little bit of Judd Trump naughty snooker to finish off with.
$78.
Well, that's one way of
83.
getting on the pink. We nearly missed that when he hit it that hard. But that was a terrific break from Judd Trump. That 83 has given him the third frame. He now leads by 2 frames to 1. There. And, such a big crowd here, and it's taking a while to get them into the seats after a frame, manoeuvring them around. We've had it most of the week where sometimes the players have just got to wait a little bit longer for the start of a frame. But all week the crowds have been fantastic. They really have, from day one. They really love the snooker, and they're also very fair to all the players. They have their favourites, but if you do it on the table, you get the respect from this Ali Pali crowd. That's the beautiful
you.
trophy
Settle
they're
down,
playing
please.
for there. Waterford Crystal.
4th frame. Kyren Woods to break.
So the interval coming up after this frame. He'd like it, but 3-1 behind best of 11's not all that bad, but he doesn't want to let Judd get up ahead of steam.
No damage done. At least I don't think so. Or is there a gap? Perhaps there is. And Kyren could play this in such a way to not leave a red on. Makes it easier.
One.
So, a little bit of pressure on Kyren to convert a decent chance. He hasn't done that yet. Reds are
8.
not all out in the open, but they're quite nicely situated. That red at the bottom of the pack could come in useful.
9.
So, would like to
14.
be able to get on that red at the bottom of the pack to perhaps open up more reds, get an angle on the black.
15. Sure.
Could go into the left-hand side of the pack to stay on that red. Or could use the red to then break open more reds. That's what he's chosen to do. So it's the screw back shot. Pot the red, screw back across the face of the pack, guaranteed to be on the black.
22.
If he plays the run through, he's not going to get so much of a split, so down to the bottom of the ball.
$23.
Chose to come off the cushion rather than playing it short of the cushion. Lost the cue ball a bit.
Very well executed there. Quite a cutback there. He did well, not only with the pot but with the cue ball. Oh, he cued across that slightly.
Kyren Wilson, 30.
Oh, that was careless. Just watch this. Just didn't push that cue through in a dead straight line.
Yeah, I wonder if that red down in the bulk area was affecting his follow through there, so he sort of curtailed it a bit.
1.
From our side on view, it wasn't easy to see how far his arm away was from that red, but you're always aware of a ball that's in your follow through area for the rest with your arm. Well, Judd's got the ideal angle to go into the reds. You'd expect him to somehow shift them. Just needs to get on one. It wasn't guaranteed. It wasn't a nice pack to go into. Got to be considered to be a bit unlucky not to get a leave from that shot.
Yeah, he couldn't have hit it any better there.
Could have hit it harder, but I think he probably felt he was hitting it hard enough. In hindsight, he'd have liked to have hit it harder.
Judd
He
Trump
didn't
next.
hit that one very hard. That was all he had available to him there. Finished very awkward.
He's not going for the pot here, is he?
He certainly is, Steve. He's very close to the white.
It's a judgment shot. So all he's got to do is get the judgment right. Perhaps, I don't think Judd was expecting this. Misjudged it. Well, was that the right shot to play?
Well, he's normally brilliant with the rest, but he's missed 2 now.
1.
Second bite of the cherry for Judd Trump. How many can he score this time?
Six.
Bonus if he's on this red. I think he perhaps thought he was going to be on the red over the corner. Oh, has that gone wrong?
7.
Just about on the pink. Very much in the driving seat. If he can get this frame on the board, Judd Trump. He wouldn't
13.
need the red on the bulk cushion, but he does need those 2 reds that are together on the side cushion. As you can see, they do go into the left corner.
14.
And they probably, or at least one of them probably goes into the right, to the left middle. And both of them go into the left middle. So at some stage in this break, you'd expect
21.
Judd Trump to try and drop in behind those 2 reds. He won't want to shift them.
$22.
Another kick. Destroyed the backspin on the ball.
28.
Now he's not ideally on the red.
$29.
You know, I think that pink's gone in an awkward position. Steve mentioned the 2 reds would go in the left middle pocket. The pink's blocking that, as you can see. I mean, that's a few shots ahead, but Judd will be well aware of that now.
32.
Yeah, he's just got to work out a bit more of a route now. The order of taking the balls has become a little bit more critical. So red, then can he stay on the blue? That'd be nice if he could.
33.
I'm not sure if they're available past the black into that left corner, but he's got other options here.
Oh, I didn't want to play that.
No, it's all right. It is now.
38.
That was a big risk, actually, playing it like that. Could easily have gone wrong.
39.
That wasn't good. Totally misjudged that one. I think he was playing the full ball contact on the red to leave himself on the pink. Now he's betwixt and between.
Well, when you've got that amount of cube power, no problem coming around the table. He's played that beautifully.
44.
Superb shot. It is a massive advantage,
45.
the power that Judd Trump can inject into that cue ball. It gives him more options all the time. But he's not without great touch as well, so whilst he has this strange idiosyncrasy in his delivery
51.
across the face of the ball, when he's hitting the ball firmly, he seems to be able to judge it very well.
So just the red and black or pink needed to leave Kyren needing a snooker. Oh, what have you done there, Judd? Me, that was the last thing he wanted to do, was leave it short. He could overdo it and still be okay. So if he takes the long pink, that'll put him 36 in front with 35 on the table. And as long as he doesn't snooker himself on the red, he could take the pink to the middle, but you'd think up into the corner would be the safer option. And as I say, he only needs that. That's what he's looking at.
Well, worth having a think about this. Putting the black safe and
Judd
having
Trump,
a good
52.
snooker. Well, if Kyren gets out of this and leaves it safe, then you'd be saying, well, putting that pink might have been the shot, but it was difficult one, that.
He's still playing the percentages.
Yeah.
Judd. But the shot not to leave himself on the black was pretty poor. But here we go. Can he hit this? Can he get it safe? That's the big question.
Can just get past the brown off the left-hand side cushion. Just.
Foul and a miss.
And so regardless of Judd Trump's decision-making, and I'm not saying it's the wrong decision what he's done there, he got the black safe and got a snooker. It looks like it's a free ball, is it? No, perhaps it's not. Would have been nicer if it was a free ball.
Back here.
He's putting it back. Okay, so Kyren's got one more chance to get out of jail here.
Yeah, Judd.
There is just enough. He can probably hit half a ball, I think, of this red off the side cushion. Perhaps a full ball.
Foul. Judd Trump 4 and a free ball.
He's got a full house. He's 38 in front. Kyren now needs a snooker. He's got a free ball, so his choice to just play the snooker and put the black safe has given him this frame. You would have to say.
Yeah. I wonder if the Judd Trump of old would have tried to pop the pink into the green pocket. Perhaps not, but still careful, thinking carefully, because it's still problems. I mean, you've got to play the pink in the middle pocket, you think, to pot it, but is he working out something else? Trying to keep the lid on this frame.
He's maybe overthinking it a little bit now.
Yeah, but
Pink ball.
it's worthwhile making your mind up first. Nothing worse than double thinking. Well, played the snooker at the same time. Clever shot. I don't think he played it. He played it like that. You know, trying to pot the pink, but he knew full well putting the cue ball there was also a snooker.
Foul. Judd Trump, 5.
Well, he's definitely going to be 3-1 behind now. And as I say, with it being first to 6, 3-1 behind is not ideal, but it's not all that bad.
Yeah, I think the more worrying thing from Kyren Wilson's perspective is he's been amongst the balls a few times and hasn't really made anything telling. These days you're just not going to win matches without winning a huge amount of frames in one visit.
He's a bit reluctant to pot the red here, but it makes it much more difficult. You don't get the free ball possibility. But he couldn't do much else there. But the blue and the pink are in ideal positions for snookers.
I never like taking the red off the table when there's more than one snooker required, but perhaps he felt, as you say, Dennis, he didn't have a good safety shot on.
Just a sec, please.
Nine points in snookers required.
Kyren Wilson, 8.
At the moment he needs 2 4-point snookers to tie. The pink and blue are not as nicely situated now. The fact that he moved the pink when trying to get in behind them on his previous shot. It's a pretty good effort though. Terrific shot.
I don't know the stats on it, but you don't win many frames from requiring 2 snookers. Far better usually to leave the red on the table. Always options of free balls then. Decent effort. Could it get behind the pink? Tough to get behind that.
Bonus to get the snooker back. Now, this might be the end of this frame, depending on what happens here. Now, where's the yellow going to finish? No, that's it. And Kyron looks over to Judd and says, that's enough in this frame. So Judd Trump, a very measured Judd Trump, goes to the mid-session interval. He'll be pleasantly pleased, leading Kyron Wilson by 3 frames to 1.
Judd Trump to break.
Now, can he get a better break-off shot this time? It's certainly opened the reds up, that's for sure.
Tough to pot that and get on the black. Assuming he was playing the pot. It's a nice safety shot from Judd Trump. Cut off the escape path down the right-hand side of the table and left Kyron with a tricky safety shot back. He's got to catch this outside red pretty thin to avoid wobbling in the jaws of the top left corner pocket. Can just dump the cue ball onto the top cushion, and looks like that's probably the right shot, containing safety. Has he left a tempter into the right middle with an element of safety involved as well for Judd Trump? Oh, what a great shot this is.
1.
I think Kyron played the safety shot the wrong way. He should have played across the face of the red. He wouldn't have left this red on, but I don't suppose he even thought about that one in the middle pocket. He's playing great match snooker at the moment, Judd.
8.
going to go on about it, but very impressed.
That's a shocker from Judd. Cued across that one. He'll go back to his seat and he won't be very pleased as we show you the shot again.
Yeah, something Stephen Hendry picked up on, that Judd much prefers to stun the ball in than roll them. And because of that strange, idiosyncratic cue action of going across the face of the ball, perhaps that cue when he plays through slower, he hits through the ball slow, he doesn't get as well on line as when he's punching them. This is tough. Bridging over that red is making his shot a lot harder.
Terrific cueing from that awkward position, and one good positional shot. There is a red at the back of the bunch there. There's a couple of reds, but the right hand one is available for the right corner. And lots of side to swing the white up towards that red, and he's played it pretty well.
3.
He wanted a slightly more angle on the black, and he could have cannoned into the reds and guaranteed to be on the one next to the white. Don't think he might still possibly be able to do it. Yeah, he was. That developed another, well, definitely one more red.
This would be nice for Kyren Wilson
11.
to make a telling break here. Punish Judd for the mistake. Make a statement.
12.
He just couldn't open those reds up as nicely from that straight on position. He could have, with a bit more angle, got a bit more movement of the pack. So still some work to do in that department. If he got the correct angle, the blue wouldn't be a bad ball to go into the pack from, but I don't think he's got it here.
Yeah,
it's time for Kyren to go to work, because his highest break so far has only been 38. And he's just hit that harder than he wanted. He should have been better on this red for the right middle pocket.
27.
He could have played for the red on the left-hand side cushion first there, but chose this shot. Well out of position, isn't he, Dennis?
That's a great recovery.
28.
And now, one good shot as we show you this terrific pot from that angle. One good cannon here, and he can really open the game up.
He played that almost perfectly, other than
35.
overhitting it a fraction, but that was understandable. Not guaranteed to be positioned on a colour here. Just cleared
36.
the cue ball from the reds. Nicely played. It could have stuck in those reds. Great chance now. And when you get the feeling he must convert, he's got to start stamping his authority on this match.
.43. 44.
If he can win this frame here, as Steve said, Judd will have something to think about after missing
51.
that sitter of a red into the left corner. This was the one here.
$52.
Screwed that back just a little bit further than he intended. He still got an angle, but means he has to hit it harder now.
He played that well. Tantalisingly close to the finishing line in this frame. Couple of reds and he's over the line.
$60.
Just hoping for a good split here. Lost the cue ball. So
67.
Well, this is a key pot coming up, and it's a very difficult one. Just needs the red to leave Judd needing a snooker. Oh, terrific cueing.
68.
You can't hit the ball any better than that from tucked up near the cushion. Yeah, we'd call that a John Parrott special. He was one of the best in the business when on the cushion.
75.
You'll be feeling
76.
much better now, Karen. This is a bit more like it. Winning the frame with one visit. Wee bit unlucky there. It just means that
81.
it'll be very difficult to make the century unless he can cut this one into the right corner. I just overcut that, but he won't be too concerned. Judd Trump made a careless mistake, and Karen Wilson did what he had to do and won the frame with one visit with that break of 81. He's just one behind now, 3-2 to Judd Trump.
the steam.
And not a great break-off shot from Kyron to leave this red on for Judd. Now, this will get his confidence back again.
One.
It's an amazing game, isn't it? Missed a sitter in the previous frame and then just gets down and knocks that in as if it was over the pocket.
Well, he floated that one in, and nothing wrong with judging the cue action on that shot.
8. Nine.
a nice way to get the confidence up again after missing a straightforward shot would be to whack in a big break here. It's one of the great attributes all the top players have: resilience, great temperament.
Thank you. 15. $16.
A little bit short of pace for ideal position on the blue to go into the pack at speed, so you'd have to really annihilate this to get, which he can do, but it was harder then to get an ideal contact on that apex red.
21.
So it looks like end of break, much to Kieran Wilson's relief. But there is a red that goes.
Yeah, never say that when Trump's at the table. But he played it with safety in mind, as you can see.
21.
Good safety needed here. Judd might well be playing the same shot, but there's red's going to go to the right corner area. So a good cue ball once again. Played a different shot. He's a bit unlucky really to get that red coming over there now. If you look at how that got there, it wasn't really anything he could have foreseen.
Well, it's all about the cue ball. He's pretty good at this type of pot. He's a long way from the red, but the white's going to be going towards the pink and reds. But you'd think he'd be guaranteed to be on a colour, but you've got to get the red first. Well, he's on a colour and he's knocked a red over the pocket, but that knocked the black a little bit awkward. But he'll settle for this.
Yeah, you'd have to settle for that, although that black might go through past the red. If it does, you could very quickly get the black back on the spot. And there you see.
4.
He's refused to play red and blue here. Would like to have been a bit
5.
closer to the black than this, but didn't really have the angle. So this isn't 100% certain.
Well, I think it's 3 he's missed with the rest, and as I say, he's one of the best in the business with it, so I'm surprised he's missed that many. Shake of the head there tells you what he thinks of it.
Yeah, the initial green wasn't very good, to be quite honest. He could have got a bit closer to things. Excellent shot from Judd Trump there. So the mind game starts. Can Judd punish Kyren for a mistake? Relatively simple at this level.
8. Nine.
Never in doubt, even though there was a few oohs and ahs in the crowd. A couple of reds going to the left corner. Not too sure he can get that side of the table from this shot. Could risk going into the pack. Players wouldn't like to do that, gambling on the outcome. Oh, he can get past the pink, so that's okay.
$16. $17.
Very nicely played.
$22.
This is Judd's 8th appearance at the Masters. He's had 2 semi-finals, so he's looking to get into his first ever Masters final.
$28. $29.
You'd have to do something very careless not to clinch this frame here, but we've seen what happened in the previous frame. Can't see it happening here though.
$36.
Yeah, you could see there when he pushed the cue through. He just
37.
goes across it a little bit, but that's the way he's always played. He's just a natural talent, is Judd.
It would be nigh on impossible for Judd Trump now to
44.
to go back to basics and rectify that if he considered it a problem. Makes a mockery of the technique book, doesn't it,
45.
really? When you see a player going across the face, or looks like across the face of the ball. Bit out of position on this one, but over the line. And a good response from Judd Trump.
$52.
Effortlessly, really, has put this frame to bed.
$53.
Must admit, I get the feeling that, whilst of course every player probably comes here hoping to win the event, that Judd Trump's
60.
come here looking to win this Masters, not hoping.
61. $68.
He had his chance there.
69.
You've had 24 centuries in this year's Alphabet Masters.
76.
Judd's had 2
78.
centuries already, so this will be his 3rd. He's made 504 centuries
81.
in his career. And what about this for a figure? He made 70 centuries last season, already on 45 this season. One of the game's
85.
greatest break builders here.
$90.
Just a wee bit short on the pink. Is he going to play a little bit of naughty snooker to get on the black? Of course he is, all the way around. Needs to have hit it a little bit harder. He's going to have to float the
96.
black now. double. Get in, black. It might go in the other. Oh, well, it's up and down the table. So no century break. What a shame, but what an effort from Judd Trump there. Kyren made one mistake, and Judd made that break of 96. He now leads by 2, friends. 4-2.
Thank you, frame 7. Judd Trump to break. Thank you, W.
And this time he has made a good break-off shot. He hasn't left the one for the left corner.
Yeah, putting a bit more pace into that break-off. Well, very rarely do you get your opponent under pressure from the break-off shot, but it's a tough one for Kyren. Looks like he's just got that path through the gap. Bit of running side. Got to be pleased with that.
And Judd just tapping the table because Kyren had to play that with a little bit of side to swerve it.
Judd's got the same type of shot, should he so wish. He's turned down the pot. It's not a nice pot to have, so same path the cue ball. Caught it a bit thicker, and in that case, it's going to go better placed behind the yellow. Brown. On first glance, maybe an even bigger problem for Kyren from this shot. How on earth can he get back down the table? I can't see a path.
Yeah, he'll have a think about it. He might have to come off a couple of cushions and land on that red just to the right of the black spot. I mean, he could come off the side cushion, but I think the green's slightly in the way just to nestle into the side of the reds. So, but he's giving it quite a bit of thought. What has he spotted here? There's not a lot there to look at.
I think 2 cushions, as you say, Dennis, to hit the red a bit by the black spots. Probably going to be okay.
Think if he can get into the well, let's see what he spotted here.
What has he spotted? He's going to drop on it dead weight. Just going to make sure it doesn't roll off. It has rolled off a fraction. He's left a red on, has he?
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump 6.
No, he hasn't. Thought for a minute he'd underhit it enough that he'd left a red on. And now that Judd knows what Kyren's going to play, they probably expect him to get it right this time. Ball might have rolled off a fraction, but then could be on a finger mark.
He's got to be absolutely spot on with it, though.
He was more or less playing full ball onto the red to the left of the pink, so not too sure that white's in exactly the same position, but perhaps it is now.
Yeah, we've got a top referee there in Marcel Eckhart. It's near enough. He will play the same shot again. He could hit it just that little bit harder and he'd still be okay.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Judd, thanks.
Let's see if Kyren can play the Kyren can play the roll up again successfully. Make the allowance. Oh, what's he looking at here? Not a 3-ball plant. That's madness, surely. That's a route to madness, isn't it?
Well, if he worked out the shot, just play the same shot again.
Play the same shot. You get another go at it, then you've got to do something different because it's a foul and a miss, and Frame walled. He looks like he's playing a different shot, not a 3-ball plant, surely not.
Well, attention all pockets if he's taking this on.
Please making funny jokes when he's down for the shot. It's not really nice, is it?
We weren't making funny jokes, but never mind.
Well, I'm sure he should have definitely played the same shot again. I mean, why take that on?
Well, thank you. Settle down, please.
Even though there was a disturbance to Kyron's concentration, it was more the decision to take the plant on which was questionable. Just didn't think it was the right shot. The plant's either guaranteed to be on or not. Well, a great chance for Judd Trump here to really put the boot in. Okay, the black spot's tied up a bit.
9. $15. 16. 21.
Judd Trump
22.
clinically going about his work here so far. He's got a few problems to solve later on.
28.
Got a bit of a
29.
big bounce off the cushion there, but he's still okay. But yeah, every chance to go into a 5-2 lead, and well, Kyron Wilson would have to win all remaining frames then. But he's just let the white slip a bit further away there, so no problem with the pot, just means he's a little bit more to do with the cue ball.
$35. 36.
Well, out of position and not as easy as it looks on our
41.
TV screen. Tough shot this. Made to
42.
look. Made to look a lot easier than it was across the nap, across the table.
Oh, what a shot he's played there.
45.
Because they're all a bit congested there around the black But he picked a nice one out. He's got choices here. He could bring that black into play. He could play straight forward for the pink. He had options there. And with a 52-point advantage, didn't want to be risking that little cannon there. He suddenly moved up a gear as Judd Trump, and he did that against Sean Murphy. Finished that match in fine style.
I really do think Kyron should have had one more go at rolling up
53.
to the red before he played that plant, if that was the only thing he could see. Okay. He's guaranteed to have won the frame here, Judd, but it looks very likely.
Just had a quick glance at the scoreboard. One more red in colour would be enough. He left himself with a tricky little pink, but once again, just glancing at the scoreboard, working out. So he's 66 in front. Still a possible 67 on the table. And that's the frame safe, you would have to say.
66.
Well, he's run out of position, but it doesn't really matter at this stage. Balls all over the table, but that doesn't matter.
Judd Trump, 69. And
he got an unexpected chance whenever Kyron played that amazing plant that he attempted, and that break of 69 extends Judd Trump's lead to 5-2. He only needs one more to get into the final. So Kyron gets this 8th frame underway, and he's got to win 4 in a row. Very tall order.
Always a nice trap using one of the sideboard colours and the blue, cutting off both escape lines.
Foul and miss. Judd Trump.
Well, Judd might come to the table because he's a left-hander. He could take this red up into the corner pocket and stun over behind the black. I think that's what he'll attempt. And that looks... Oh, no, it's just going to the right. It's a sort of a free shot.
He's left the Kyron the tempter into the green pocket. Be a good shot to pot this and get on a baulk colour. Same for this shot. No guarantees, though, that Judd will play the pot. Garrin had another look at the plant earlier from the side cushion. Now he's spotted 3-ball plant, 4-ball plants. Don't think there's a 4-ball sort of line-up, but it's never going to go in. Perhaps he's just checking from a safety perspective, but it's another tough safety shot he's got.
Yeah, the black's in an awkward spot to come down the left side of the table. That's why he's gone down the other side, but he's hit it far too thick.
Well, he's been lucky to get away with this. He's dropped his head as he played the shot. Judd looks like he can play a stun to the same position and perhaps get his opponent back in trouble. That brown's blocking the path quite nicely. Judd playing some clever safety shots here.
Yeah, he's cut off the escape route. That brown's preventing that, and as I mentioned before, the black in the way of the other side, so he's got to be careful here he doesn't catch the black. He knows that those 4 balls that are lined up might send one over that right corner pocket, so he's got a couple of problems here. Played that shot. He looked at it a few times.
One.
And in the end, you don't see it very often, but that was a 4-ball plant that you just witnessed.
It didn't look like it went from behind the pocket. If it was that certain, could have played it at an earlier stage, I suppose. Perhaps he was a bit wary of playing another plant.
Very difficult to score many.
6.
The way the colours are. Reds are not too badly placed, but pink's now out of commission. Black away up the other end of the table. The brown, I mean, if he could get on that and get it back on its spot, but it's far from straightforward here. Yeah, a wee bit unlucky to just drop into that position. He's got the yellow as an alternate.
Yeah, 1 ball less travelling, and he could have potted the blue and tried to develop the pink.
Nine.
It would be nice to get on the black, get the black on the spot on this shot. I don't think he can, but by no means guaranteed the right way to go about things, but can keep on playing on the blue. It's just that black's nicer if it's on the spot.
14. $15.
Yeah, it looks as if he's finished straight on the blue, so he can leave that red to the left corner, but just means he's got a little bit more work to do with the positional side of things here. It's all about keeping it as
20.
simple as possible for yourself. And that's what can happen when you're just running slightly out of position. It's just lost a bit of confidence at the moment, has Kyron.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a tough day today. He hasn't controlled the cue ball well enough, and maybe his thinking process hasn't been as clear as it would have needed to be in such an important semi-final. Sort of head scrambled a bit. He needs to clear his head. Unfortunately, he's out there. And what's he playing here? Deep, long screw back. He played it in such a way that he hoped the only ball he could leave was that red. Made a good fist of it, but
there is a gap to get round on the blue off this red here. Oh, he's caught the other red. And look where he's finished. Snookered himself, so he's got to be a bit careful with that red up the other end of the table. He was just a fraction away. As we show you it again, if he finds the gap there, he would have been perfect on the blue.
I think he can get through to the yellow of the side cushion, and I think it would be a hard pot for Kyron into the middle pocket at the worst. If he hits the yellow, the cue ball's going to naturally travel on a bit further. He could easily get the snooker behind pink and brown. I'm sure he can get just past the middle pocket and hit the yellow. He could play the swerve, but no real need, I think. Perhaps some
Yellow ball.
Perhaps the middle pocket is in the way. Good shot.
Shot round 1.
Kyron will want to move that red away from the middle pocket area. If he can get to it, it is a difficult pot.
It's not often you see the reds all up this end of the table and the colours all up the other end of the table.
Wow. Well, we'll never know how that would have panned out had he hit it properly, but he was a mile out with the pot. If he'd have caught more of the red, he would have screwed the cue ball back into baulk, but why give an opponent on the ropes chance back in. That looked on the face of it to be as crazy a shot as Kyren
6.
played earlier, but there again, he was a long way out with a pot.
7.
You'd think that Kyren's got to take this frame now by the scruff of the neck. Try and salvage something from the match. Use it as a springboard. But it's not the best chance in the world.
12.
Should be able to get enough points
13.
though.
Yeah, just keep taking blues.
80.
He's overhit that
19.
by quite a way. Yeah, gonna have to take the yellow now. That was the last thing on his mind there.
Well, positionally, Kyren's been pretty weak today.
Well, he's got another one with the rest.
21.
He hasn't been very successful this afternoon with the rest. He's normally excellent with it. Just 50% at the moment. That's more like it.
22.
And the perfect angle on the blue to sum up for the reds that are near the black spot. He was handed a golden opportunity by Judd after that
27.
very difficult raid he took on when he scattered them all over the table. Lots
28.
of reverse side on that. And didn't he play that well? That's such a difficult shot to execute. And you can see he hits it with the right hand side as it hits the cushion,
34.
spins away up towards the blue. He's took these well. That means that Judd is at the snooker's required stage. This red to
39.
make absolutely certain and keep Judd in his seat.
40.
He's not out of this match yet.
Well, Judd has played the percentages all the way through
46.
this match so far. That was the first rash one that he took on, and he's paid the price.
47.
You have to wait till the pink goes up,
53.
Kyren. There's a
54.
big round of applause for some naughty snooker from Kyren this time. There we go. A bit more. The white's close. The white's very close. Oh,
57.
there's the brilliant double. Doesn't matter about missing the yellow. He'd be more than delighted. Judd handed him a chance and he took it with both hands, and with that break of 57 he keeps himself in this semi-final, but he still trails by 5 frames. Absolutely, Jason, and why not? He's made a break of 57 there, which has restored the confidence. I mean, there's a big day for Kyren. Second time at the Masters, chance to get through to the final. Now this will tell us something. This shot here. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Needs the white to pull up though, and it hasn't.
One.
And as Judd looks on, Kyren's faced with the brown that's not the right angle to pot and get up the table. He's now looking at the yellow, and all of a sudden he must be feeling very confident if he's going to take this on. What a shot this is.
There's an easy roll up, but he feels like he's not going to get any advantage, so he's really going for the jugular here. Great shot. Absolutely.
3.
Full marks for trying to make something happen here. Trying to get Judd Trump off balance.
Look at the chance he's created for himself here. Worth another look at this, and played it with a touch aside to make sure he got on the red.
(5-4), then there is pressure on Judd.
11.
It's become a fascinating
12.
moment in this match now. And Kyren sensing that there's a little bit of momentum swinging his way.
19. 20.
And although Judd leads the head-to-head 4-2, Kyren, when he won his first ranking title,
27.
2015, the Shanghai Masters, he beat Judd Trump 10-9 in the final. Maybe he's got that on his mind to help him along.
$28.
Couldn't really play that shot in any way
35.
to pot the red and open up more red, so he's got to be off the black now that he's going to disturb the pack. It's not an easy pack to disturb either. Needs an angle, low on it,
36.
he's done that right. And stunning into the right hand side as we look, not a screw back, more of a stun shot into them. Keep the cue ball in open play. So not too low on the white ball. It is a harder shot stunning in than screwing in for some
Kyren
reason.
Wilson, 36.
Well, he did the cardinal sin. He took his eye off the pot. But listen, as he bows his head, and if he looks back at the table, he hasn't left anything for Judd. He's got away with it. He's had a result there. And what a result he's had.
Perhaps like to get the cue ball down into this corner where he's judging now. hide that red with the blue.
Yeah, you see, can't get to that red. That's why everything was safe.
Bit short of pace. Has he got away with that?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
he's left the gap. Can you believe it?
Oh, all of a sudden. So wheel's gone a bit wobbly in Judd Trump's cart. Not saying this is a certainty, but I think you'd expect the way Kyron Wilson's approaching the game, he's going to knock this in. He's got nothing to lose. Somebody's
Oh, you can't believe it. They're coming down the steps. Just, well,
bad timing.
right in line of the sight as well, but one safely in, but more importantly, perfect on the blue. Well, every chance now, and Judd is going to have to sit there and ponder.
6. Seven.
What a match to turn around this would be for Kyron Wilson. One frame at a time, of course, but
14.
he's looking a lot happier and a lot more comfortable amongst the balls than he was earlier.
Well, I mentioned before the match started how mentally strong Kyron Wilson is and feels he can beat anyone in the game. He's got a great attitude, very modest fella, but with regards to snooker, he feels he can beat anyone in the game, and he's just let that slip away just a fraction too far. That's what he thinks of it,
22.
and he was only a couple of pots away from clinching this frame. This is a tricky little one. He's quite close to it. Delicate little shot. Well played though.
23.
Glancing round at the scoreboard, he's going to need another red after the pink.
That's in. Amazing game, snooker. It wasn't that long ago.
29.
It looked like Kyron Wilson had lost the plot a bit here today. And all of a sudden, with a little bit of help from Judd Trump, he's focused again.
He's got the cue ball.
30.
Using the rest. There's 59 points on the table, and he's got a 66-point advantage.
Kyron Wilson 30 and a frame.
And Judd stays in his seat. So Kyron Wilson is on his way back again. That's another frame he takes, and he's only one behind now at 5-4. Game on. Everything safe. Judd just having a look to see if he would push a red over the right corner. You always got to be aware of that. Well, he has pushed one towards
Well,
the...
Karen
for the
Wilson
white to go into the middle at that angle was amazing. And he did push a red towards the right corner, so an early chance for Karen.
Yeah, I'm not sure he played that red. I think he played the one before it. It's all going Karen Wilson's way at the moment, it seems.
One.
Aggressive shot from Karen Wilson, and unlucky that he didn't get an easier lead than this. He hoped to have been on the blue, possibly the black if he'd have got the right split from the reds.
But he's in attacking mode at the moment, and I'm sure he'll take this green on to get back up to the reds. There's one there near the blue, another red that's available. And that's played perfectly, and if he comes far enough, he can pop this and just nudge the other red away from the blue.
4.
This is the best he's looked in the match in the last couple of frames.
5.
I think he'll probably play for the red below the blue and then try and get a better angle on the blue. He's got an inviting pack of reds to go into.
10.
He doesn't have to go into the pink. He can go into the side, the right-hand side, if he gets the right angle. He's not nicely placed on the red, though. Would have liked to have got back on the blue.
11.
He can obviously go in from the yellow, but that's not as nice as going in from the blue from how it panned out. So overscrewed that blue somewhat. Big shot now coming up. Karen Wilson's prepared himself well. Here we go.
This is the line that he's got. He doesn't want to hit the pink. Oh, misjudged.
Oh, he's on it. Oh my goodness. What a massive fluke that is.
13.
Oh, and if he can develop these balls from that position, that's just an enormous slice of luck. Okay, the pot's not guaranteed, is it, Dennis? And the position's certainly not, but you never know. Plays it with screw back. Big shot.
You could see him winding the cue up there. Okay. He's missed a few with the rest, but he's potted some terrific ones with the rest in the last couple of frames. And this, well, 10 out of 10 for that.
Would have liked to have been slightly closer to this side cushion.
20.
How this match has turned around. There was nothing to suggest that Karen Wilson was going to get back in this match the way he was looking. And for all of the
21.
considered snooker that Judd Trump had played up until that one rash shot, it's that one shot that everybody's talking about. And even more so, should Karen Wilson somehow win this match.
Where's this going to finish? Oh, that'll do nicely. The cannon on the pink will do very nicely.
24.
Maybe got a little bit of a kick there, but he's okay. He's the correct side of the blue. Yeah, one shot can turn a match on its head, and we showed you it a few times. The one that Judd had to go at certainly has changed things, because he hasn't had a chance since then. Oh, what's he done here? What has he done here? Is he okay? I think he is. So all of a sudden, he's getting
29.
the little nudges and the little run of the ball, and quite deserves it, the way he's played in the last couple of frames. Yeah, it's just a bit of a distraction, that red there.
Well, who knows what's going to happen in the rest of this match, but when you look back at careers, sometimes there's
37.
massive moments in how matches shape out, and should Kyren Wilson get out of this match
38.
and go on to succeed in the final, looking back at his career in years to come, sliding doors moment perhaps.
Already 49 ahead.
45. .46.
Definitely worrying times for Judd.
And great, Dennis, isn't it, to win this in one visit, to really keep the heat on Judd Trump.
He's showing a great deal of character here, as Kyren. He really is.
He's finishing very strongly.
.54.
What a last frame this could be. Assuming he gets over the line. What a last frame.
He's looking for one more red after the black.
Yes. He's got that red into the yellow pocket as a last resort.
So one good long pot, and we're going to be all
61.
square. What a comeback this is. It's there. That was Kyren's parents. You got a glimpse of there, Sonia and Rob.
69. 70.
There they are, and how proud will they be seeing this comeback?
.77. .78.
Crowd are absolutely loving this comeback.
Stephen Georgina, but they know his son's still in with a good shot. It's going to be a last frame decider, and it's sort of a toss of a coin, but at the moment the momentum
82.
is all with Kyren Wilson, and this has been a brilliant comeback, it has to be said.
I don't think anybody's doubted his pedigree. He hasn't had a great game in the early part of this match was sadly out with his
87.
positional play, but he's stuck at his job, and all of a sudden his temperament has really held up here.
88.
He was given a lifeline by Judd Trump, and all of a sudden, how you think that Judd would like to play that shot
93.
again. 3 frames have seemed to have evaporated. Now he's so much under pressure, trying to get rid of the
95.
thoughts that that shot has ruined his chance of getting to the final, and he's got one more frame to play. You've got to say the favourite now is Kieran Wilson.
We've had 24 centuries so far this year. Make that 25. What a time to produce it. That's his 30th century this season. They're loving this, and what an exciting finish we're going to have to this first semi-final.
I think both players will go out now, but who's your money on for the final frame?
What a time to produce a century break. That magnificent break of 107 has completed the comeback, and Kieran Wilson is all square with Judd Trump. It's 5-all.
Sound, because great noise inside Ali Pali.
Try to settle down, please. Deciding frame, Judd Trump to break.
So here we go, and that's what it's all about, that trophy there. One of these players is going to be playing in the final to try and lift it.
Maybe the most exciting frame of the season so far.
A little birdie has just told me that Kieran Wilson has won 53% of final frame deciders to Judd's 49%. So there's not a lot between them. Kieran just got the edge, but as John Parrott says, you just at some stage want one chance in the deciding frame. That's a good shot. And the crowd have been absolutely fantastic this afternoon. They really have. And the reception both players got when they come back in for the deciding frame, it was like finals day.
Yeah, whilst they've appreciated the comeback from Kieran Wilson, there'll be plenty of Judd Trump fans in, hoping their man gets across the line. Is he taking this on? No, just the safety. Too risky, that one. Will it be a nervy tactical frame? You don't get many of them these days, but high stakes here. A lot to play for. Good enough pace on the cue ball there to stop Kieran Wilson screwing back into baulk. Kieran may be forced to play to the top cushion again here.
Believe it or not, it's 33, well, coming up to 34 minutes since Judd's last pot. He's only scored 5 points in the last 3 frames.
just okay. Very risky, red into the middle pocket. I think perhaps it's even an off.
Couple of escape routes for Kyron. You can see the reds past the green, and you can see the one that's near the left side cushion. So it's the thin snick off these right side of the table. You could see the eyes there glancing from the cue ball to the object ball. And then just before delivering the cue, you're looking at the object ball.
Good safety. A little bit of a risk maybe with this shot. Maybe played it well.
If he didn't get the kiss there, it would have been absolutely perfect. Yeah, if he hadn't flicked the brown, this escape route wouldn't have been available to Kyron.
Kyron's wary, I think, of pushing a ball towards the left corner here. So much so, he's going for this red on the left-hand side cushion. Doesn't want to get a double kiss. Don't think he will do. It's close to double kiss territory, but...
That's a brilliant shot.
Judd should be able to play this red and screw back into baulk. He'd be unlucky if the red somehow fiddled its way back up the table again. Underrated safety player, I think, Judd Trump. He needs all of his tactical nous here in this last frame.
Well, there is a path through to red. Look at that. What a shot that would be to take on at this stage, because he's not guaranteed to get on the black.
He doesn't like this shot. Is there any type of containing shot you can play other than being forced to play this pot? This is so risky.
Well, he'll weigh up the situation, and if he can't see an easy safety shot, he'll have a go at this. Boy, this is some shot he's taking on here. Or is he playing the safety shot? Yeah, just a safety shot, quite rightly so.
And what you're seeing unfolding in this frame is the difference between coming back into the match and all of a sudden, when you're parity with your opponent, the different mindset. Both players trying to make sure that they don't gift their opponent an easy starter. What's Judd spotted? Oh.
Steve, considering that Judd hasn't potted the ball for about 38 minutes, what an opener this is. And an early chance.
Got that cue ball out between the two reds so well. First chance, Judd Trump. What can he make of it?
Free.
Black's asking to be potted at some stage.
4.
The red by the black spot might be a problem. But there's a couple of bunches of reds that need to be resolved. Is he going to steady the ship?
9.
Well, he's got himself onto the black. Pink's out of commission at the moment, but it was a great opening red. A bit unlucky for Kyron to leave that red, the way he played the safety shot, but Judd did pot a very good opener. Could have left that slightly better for himself. He's still okay, but just another inch off the cushion would have been better.
It's critical if this black goes. Judd's looking at it. He's not moving. Does it go in?
70.
He's got an angle to go up for the blue. If it doesn't,
18.
good pace on the cue ball again, Dennis, isn't it? That's with the tension that's in this match. He's controlled this white ball so far in this break excellently.
Yeah, it's still not a good chance just yet. We could see that that black was very tight, and it's even difficult to be able to get on the red. If he could get on the red there in a couple of shots' time, that might help, but a lot to do from this position.
Red below the pink goes. He's underhit that. That's the first mistake. Underhit it by quite a way. Looks like he's got the thin cut
23.
into the blue into the middle pocket, but it's a lot thinner than it looks on our TV screens here. I suppose he's obligated to go for it.
It's amazing, Steve. If it hadn't been a deciding frame on the blue, I'm sure Judd normally would have potted the blue and cannoned into the pink and reds, but he was trying to make absolutely certain.
Not a plant. Is there a plant on? Oh. Well, he's got to make it. Oh dear. The thing about this is he's got to be so certain he can get this. He can't risk playing this. He's got to be 100% certain. There's a gap between the balls. We know he's got history of playing plants. He's done them very well, but such a critical time. Thin red is not easy.
I think he's looking at the safety shot, is he?
Double? God knows.
He just can't make his mind up.
It was a poor positional shot. It would have been better overhitting that blue than underhitting it. Not the plant. If it goes in, it could be a match winner.
I think this
Safety.
is the correct shot. Absolutely the correct shot, that.
Judd Trump. 23.
Not enough points to cause much concern to his opponent. So, first chance to Judd Trump. Not converted.
A pretty good shot from Judd there. It's left things a little awkward here. Got to catch this one thin to avoid the in off to the pocket, and not too thin that he catches the other red there on the right side cushion. So I mean, if there's no shot available to him, I'm just looking at the situation, he's going to go for the thin one.
Full in the face, white to the top cushion is one way of containing the situation. This is slightly riskier if he mishits it, but he's got to mishit it by quite some distance. Well played. Bit of pressure on that. Judd Trump looks to have weathered a bit of a storm. He looks more focused out there at the moment than he did watching those frames pass by.
Well, that has certainly opened things up. And look at this cue ball. Oh, a fraction away from getting in behind the yellow, but that's opened things up somewhat.
He certainly wasn't scared of trying to get the black into play. Positive thinking. Is there a path for Kyren Wilson to try and pot this red and get round back down the balk area? I think there is.
Well, it was a good effort. He's potted 3 or 4 like that in the match, but this is a deciding frame. There was an awful lot of pressure on that.
He missed it by far enough that he didn't get the correct angle with the cue ball, but he's left Judd very awkwardly placed. Unless there's a plant on. Don't think so. Oh, this is quite horrible, isn't it? Has he got to get sort of the extended rest out and try and... That's a horrible shot to play, that is. He could play the red down the rail, screw back into balk. But I don't see any other types of shots. He's got the red on the top cushion to play safe off of, down into balk, but he wants to be more aggressive than that. Is he talking himself into a pot? Nightmare. Nightmare shot. What on earth happened there? Surely there was a safer option. Everything's been thrown away. Everything's been thrown away. How does he feel now?
Well, he's got to sit there and see what Kyren can make of this chance. It's not a good chance, and Judd has a 23-point advantage, but he thought long and hard and then took on another very risky plant. There was a straightforward safety shot, has to be said. And he's gone to get the black back up on the spot straight away.
One.
Needs a bit of an angle. He's got the red near the middle pocket, so very positive thinking there from Kyren. So this is his chance. Judd's had his opportunity.
Straight enough, it's a bit of a problem.
Well, This is a thin one, you can tell,
8.
shaking the head. He just finished a little awkward on that black there. Because the white anywhere over the right side of the table, that was an easy pot.
Dennis, he might not be able to avoid in potting this red, assuming he can cut it back. He might not be able to avoid collision with the other red on the left-hand side cushion. Such a thin cut, it's tough to screw the ball. What's he doing here? Trusting a bit to luck? Can he control it? Wow, where's this red going? It's important where it goes. It goes in, no.
9.
Well, he's made it a big pocket. Unmissable pink in the middle pocket, I would suggest, Dennis.
Oh, it's a bit...
Okay, settle down, please.
I think it's unmissable.
Yeah, he's got a...
Oh, well, he trusted to luck and he's got massive amount, I think.
As long as he catches the red thin, if the pink doesn't go in direct.
As long as the red is also not touching the cushion, he won't get an immediate double kiss as well.
Semi-final
15.
we've been treated to here. What else is left in this fantastic match?
Oh, he's underhit that.
16.
Just about got away with it. Thought he underhit it a bit more than that.
People ask you what's it like out there under these conditions. It's worse for the parents, isn't it? Because they're
22.
more nervous than you are.
Yeah. When you're out there at this stage of the match, you're playing on pure instinct. So far, every ball's gone in the middle of the pocket. He knows this is a golden opportunity.
23.
He knows he's been gifted it. Is he going to fulfill his potential?
An awful long way to go yet with a few reds safe. That's certainly put all 4 reds on now, but then there's 3 fairly difficult
30.
ones.
That was an excellently controlled shot. Could have easily have been forgiven for hitting it harder. It's advantage Kyren Wilson now.
31.
He's going to need one of the difficult 3 reds on the table
38.
at the very least, and perhaps only one. It's a great effort here.
39.
Still looking good.
That's the number he's looking there on the right of your screen. 67 points. If he can get there, Judd will need a snooker. And the red that he was just leaning over there, the one that's nearest the right corner pocket, you know, that's not too badly
46.
placed.
Yeah, he needs high colours to only need the one red. As you say, Dennis, that's not a bad red to get on. Oh, bit lucky.
47.
But the red's gone down the table.
It's okay because he's got an angle on the pink to drop on that red that he knocked up near the brown.
It's missable into the middle pocket. It's more of an angle than it looks. It always is on our TV screen, but I think you'd expect him to just drop it in. Hasn't got to do much with the cue ball.
It's there. Points the difference
53.
now, slowly creeping towards a place in the final. There's still a bit of work to be done yet.
He needs 14 points from 2 reds. Two pinks, 1 black and 1 blue. Other than that, he's going to need 2 of these difficult reds on the side cushion.
And he had worked that out. That's the reason he played up for the
54.
black there. Yeah, that red I mentioned, he can drop on that one here.
Well, for all of the inaccuracies of positional play that Kyren Wilson showed at the start of this match, he's on the brink of an absolutely fantastic victory, maybe the most important of his life. He showed great character. He's improved as this match has gone on. One more good positional shot. He's played for the loose red.
He's going to need a little bit of help here.
61.
Going to need the extension on his cue and the extended rest. So, hasn't got anything to do with the cue ball. It'll automatically finish on the black. And I mentioned earlier, he did defeat Judd in the 2015 Shanghai Masters. 10-9, deciding for him.
He doesn't want to try and get too clever with this. Just drop it in. He's going to be on the black. Doesn't necessarily need to get too close to the black.
Absolutely
62.
amazing, and what a fantastic round of applause for just potting that red there. But he's still looking at the scoreboard. Just this black to leave Judd needing snookers. Well, a big sort of sigh of relief there, but
69.
just one snooker to tie at the moment, so the double would make absolutely certain of a place in the final. A treble will do. A treble will do. And now we see the reaction. Yeah, look at that means to Kyren Wilson. What a comeback against Judd Trump, who was 5-2 up and looked to be dominating the match. This is some performance for the man from Kettering.
Well, what does this do to the respective careers of both players? What a turnaround.
Well, it's hard to describe how he's feeling inside. He's puffing his cheeks.
72.
It's hard to describe how he feels, but this has been the best performance of his career, even though he won a ranking event. It doesn't matter about that. These players have treated us to one fantastic semi-final. It looked like it was all one way. Judd Trump looked like he was going to win the match quite comfortably. In the end, the man from Kettering has won 4 frames in a row. And didn't he do it in style? And he gets himself through to the final of the Dapperbet Masters.
Parrott was giving him a huge round of applause here today.
Well, there's lots of ingredients you need to be a top-class snooker player, and one of them is grit, and that's exactly what he's shown today. He didn't have his A game in any way, shape or form at the start of the match. His cue ball was pretty poor, couldn't make a decent break. But from 5-2 down, and from the minute Judd took that liberty with the thing, he's been nothing other than top class.
Absolutely brilliant, Stephen.
fantastic performance, and it'll give him so much confidence going into the final tomorrow. To come through like that and play the snooker. He's not just done it, through scrappy frames. He's done it convincingly. And that last frame, Judd got in first, but after that, it just seemed to be destiny to me that Karen Wilson was going to win.
Because he did have the run of the balls as well, didn't he? But you've got to give him a huge amount of credit. He's still got to take his chances, John.
But this is the way, I said to you before, Jason, this is the way the game goes. Judd was in control here, took a liberty, and the game has a way of turning round and not forgiving you. And all of a sudden, Karen started to play properly. He got the little bits of rub. I mean, he potted a thin red in the middle that come off the smashed off the cushion. Ended up putting a red over the middle pocket, perfect on the pink. But, from there on in, it was a brilliant break.
Kyron's going to come in for a chat very shortly, but let's just take a look at the moment of madness, which has ultimately cost Judd Trump a place in the final, Stephen.
This one, it's just, he's got a few shots he can play here. But yeah, it's just not thinking clearly. It's just the pressure getting to you.
What happens there?
The pressure gets to you. You think you're desperate to get the match won, and you're desperate to take any chance. That's the frame of mind.
Composure at this stage of the game, isn't it? At this stage of the tournament, it's absolutely
right word.
Here it comes. Absolutely drained, Kyron. Well done. Well done. I just said, you've just been through that, and there you are, signing autographs. You're coming here with handshakes as well. And I said just now that 5-2, we honestly thought it was finished. It was all over for you. I mean, what a tremendous, tremendous fight back. Well done.
Do you know what it is? People keep calling me the Warrior, and I thought to myself, I haven't won a comeback in years. And I thought to myself, I'm going to stick in there. And this venue, funny things can happen here. And, the late, great Paul Hunter made some awesome comebacks. And I was thinking of him a little bit and trying to draw a little bit of inspiration from some of the comebacks he made. And, just managed to stick in there.
Amazing. Because at 5-2 down, it looked like, and I was saying to the boys, just looking at your body language as well, it's almost like you were resigned to defeat.
No, I'm trying to sort of stay in my chair, the same all the time. I'm trying to make things familiar all the time, and it might not look the most positive to you guys, but I'm trying to keep things together all the time. And I had my chances in more or less every single frame, and I just kept running out of position. I felt like my potting was there and my cueing was there. It was just struggling on the new cloth a little bit.
You found a cue ball when it mattered. When you were 5-2 back in all them frames, all of a sudden you found a cue ball, didn't you, when it really mattered?
Yeah,
because your focus was so strong.
Yeah, well, I just knew that I had to start scoring the 70s and 80s from the interval because I wasn't doing that, and you've got to put Judd under pressure.
Isn't it funny, though, how the game can change? He's took that one liberty with that row. He's 5-2, and he's gone for that nutcase pot in the corner pocket and splattered the balls everywhere. And from the minute that happened, it's just changed.
Yeah,
and you as a player, you as a player realise that, don't you?
Well, not for me. I had my chances. I made a good start from the interval. I made a good 80 break, and I left myself a black down the rail, and I just underhit the red next to the black, and that would have been 3-3 for me because I'd have fancied the job from there at 3-3, and Judd then obviously capitalised, and then, like you say, took a liberty. And just let me settle. I just needed one frame to get my arm going, and from 5-2 down and get back into the match.
You put an amazing yellow in frame 9.
Yeah.
Was that just you just decided on that shot straight away?
Yeah. I like to think I'm an aggressive player, and you've got to play. I felt like Judd was quite conservative.
Yeah. We said that. Yeah.
Yeah. He
seemed to have a game plan.
Yeah. His safety game was. I was really impressed with it, and I just thought to myself, right, I'm going to go for it now. And when my opportunities came, I just thought, I've got to start taking them, whether it take a risk or not, and the risk paid.
That last frame when you played that red in the middle and everything happened, then you're on the pink. I mean, that was just lovely, wasn't it? That was lovely.
When I thought the red was going to cover it, and I was like,
But then it went to the far jaw, and it was like, the pocket's the size of a bucket.
I know. I'm sure I seen a little feather drop down.
You had that break of 81, and Judd had that break of 96 as well. But obviously, we were talking about the very fact that, Kyron, that Judd hadn't potted a ball for 38 minutes as well. So that was obviously your intention as well, to keep him in his chair and just keep him away from the table.
Yeah, I lost my discipline a little bit. I went for one of those crazy plans as well, but I felt like I had no shot. So I just wanted to take my opportunities, and then when they weren't quite there, not take on a rash shot. I know the yellow was a rash shot, but that's one that I really fancied. Just grew in confidence and started to find my game. So, yeah, very pleased.
But you can't wait for tomorrow now.
I'm buzzing. This is the sort of venue you want to be in a final. I'm knocking on the door this season, and I just need to ground myself tonight. Chill out, and it's just another match.
A wonderful shot of your family as well. Your family here as well today, so lovely to see that as well.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I had my brother and my wife sort of come along, after one of the frames and just, you know, give me a little cheer, and it just give me a little boost, really. It's nice to have them here and to give them something to cheer for.
Talking of boost as well, I just have to ask you about this crowd as well. Are you aware? I mean, obviously, I've been asking these guys as well, but it's been a long time since they walked out in a final frame decided with so much at stake. Are you aware of the crowd and the come on, Kyron, as well, or do you just try and block all that out?
I think, you know, leading up to it and probably the first couple of shots you are, and then you just try and get into a zone. You've got to block it all off and not think about it. Last year, I really struggled with that. You know, it was my debut last year, and I didn't quite handle the crowd very well, whereas this year I just feel like, because I played so well in my first game as well, that obviously helps. I know I can do it, so now I know I can do it, like, all that doesn't matter, and, you know, it's just all playing the balls now.
Yeah, your first Masters final, how's that sound?
Oh, awesome, awesome. One more to go.
Amazing. Higgins or Allen?
Not bothered.
Bring them on.
Bring them on.
As long as they have a 6-5 on the black, you don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'll put myself.
And it goes on
through
till midnight. That's what you want.
They're both obviously fantastic players. John's been there and done it, and Mark's probably one of the most consistent performers on tour now. So it'd be a tough game either way, but you know, every game feels like a final, and every game's a tough game here anyway. So.
You thrilled us this afternoon, isn't he?
It's been fantastic. As I say, there's lots of qualities that snooker players need, and grit and determination is definitely one of them. And you showed that in spades this afternoon. Well done.
Go and have a cup of tea. Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much indeed. Let's have a quick look.